Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to episode number 5 of our Let's Play series of Strategic Command World War II War in Europe. This is episode number 5, playing as the Germans in the 1939 campaign in this I Go, You Go, turn-based, hex-based strategic war game. Now, in the first several episodes, we did the historical thing. We attacked and held Poland, Denmark, Norway, the Low Countries, France. In our last episode, we began the invasion of Greece, and we also began the push into Africa. In today's episode, the Afrika Corps will arrive, and the Balkan campaign will expand to Yugoslavia. I think. Anyway, that's roughly the timeline we're on. We're also trying to prepare for the invasion of Russia, although the garrison rules around Warsaw are going to make that a little bit challenging. I'm worried the Russian offensive might start a little bit late from a historical point of view, and if it starts late, I worry about our ability to knock the Russians out before winter comes, and this game definitely does treat winter differently, so if the Germans are much more effective with their armored units in the summer than they are in the winter, so if we get off to a 2 or 3 turn delayed start against the Russians, that could be problematic. Alternatively, we could wait till 1942 to the spring, possibly, if we can keep the Russians on side. Their diplomatic situation is not dire. I don't know how quickly the game's diplomacy will turn against us there, so it is possible that we are able to push this into 42, maybe the spring of 42. That would be ideal if it weren't for the fact that the Americans will enter the war in December, I think pretty much no matter what. So ideally, we're not dealing with an invasion in North Africa at the same time we're trying to conquer Russia, but I'm not really sure how that will play out yet. That's a little bit ahead of us still. First things first, we got to finish off the Greeks, who have been... The Greeks have not been as much of a problem as the logistics around Greece have been a problem. The Italians have some very good armies fighting very well in North Africa, so I'm kind of surprised at how useful they have been in this game compared to how they're usually treated. We did a good job of investing in infantry tech and doctrine early for the Italians, which has been a saving grace. I think we will see that effectiveness gradually wear off as other countries' technology and investments begin to outstrip those early gains for us, but we will see. That's enough of me rambling. We've been going for over 3 minutes, or actually almost 3 minutes at this point. So let's go ahead and turn this over to the not the live stream, but I did record this sort of in one sitting of about 4 hours of gameplay. So we're going to turn it over to that and see how things play out. But hope you guys enjoy. Leave your thoughts below, and I'll catch you guys at the end. Damn it. There we go. Alright, we extended our front a little bit by adding that core unit there. Nice. I mean, the British are definitely suffering attrition in North Africa. Just a question of how long we can hold on with these kind of losses. But we drove their recon car back. Their New Zealand Corps needs to be reinforced this turn or risk be destroyed. I mean, it's really just a question of waiting for the Afrika Corps to show up to a large degree. Can we take Corfu? Is it unoccupied? So we took Corfu, which I took because it's a supply center. So in theory, we should get some supply next turn. Try and bombard some Greeks with some Italian warships, I guess. Maybe that's something we can accomplish. You know, weaken them through the loss of morale or effectiveness due to heavy bombardment at sea. Maybe we can break through along the coast there despite the lack of supply. Or if I get that Italian headquarters unit to the supply center, that could help too. But let's use the Italian Navy for something now, I suppose. And our sub will hopefully block some bombardment of our troops down there now. Let's move our army unit into the front. It's going to be a poor supply situation there regardless, but... Okay, at least Corfu theoretically should have a little bit better supply for the armor, so maybe they can help push through. We will also bring another Italian army into Triaria, or however you pronounce that. It's an army unit, so it's a little bit stronger. And we can bring a German infantry unit down to Corfu. Should be able to come ashore with better supply because Corfu's supposed to have high supply. Meanwhile, research or new units. We got an anti-air unit here. We'll deploy along the east front. Maybe we should have deployed that to I'm thinking maybe we should have deployed that to the... Oh my goodness, I'm blanking. We should have deployed that to the west, to France, against the British. Alright, let's... Oh, God damn it. Wait, what's this? They're moving a Corps by sea? Where are they moving them? God damn it. I'd rather sink an enemy transport at sea, or at least weaken it. Especially if they're moving it, like, to North Africa or something. Maybe they're moving it to England. I gotta try and get out. Okay, so I nearly destroyed an enemy transport at sea. The 10th Corps, which I don't know if it's going to England or going from England. Not sure. Research for Germany. Are they maxed out again? No. We can do one more thing, which we will do... Another chit toward... Does spying and intelligence matter? I don't really know. What's the value of rockets? It just degrades their economy. Like, okay, I mean, that's nice, but... I should probably have some research going on anti-air. I guess we'll put 2 into anti-air then. Alright, what can we purchase with that money? Maybe we need to do some actual upgrades to the troops instead. There goes all my money on research. Okay. Well, the troops attacking that will attack Yugoslavia are going to be great. Romania joins the Axis. Yay! Amphibious warfare level 1, which I'm not even going to use, at least for a while. Are those Dutch destroyers? Do the Dutch get to keep their navy? Alright. We ambushed a British heavy cruiser trying to move to bombard us. Sub-attacked a transport, but fortunately it was in harbor, so it didn't do as much damage. Okay. Well, they drove our sub off anyway. I guess at least we did damage to the heavy cruiser, even if they're going to continue to bombard our troops there. Be nice if there was bad weather over the Med or something to shut the darn enemy air force down. We get a lot of little desert storms, which presumably reduce the effectiveness of the air units bombing us, but they don't actually destroy them. Oh no, the armor flanked us. Just like the armored cars. I'm hoping maybe their supply situation is bad, and so we'll be able... I think part of the reason we've had some effectiveness with the Italians is, even though the British do have a headquarters unit, it's kind of further... or it has been further back, or not in a good supply center, so it has at least hindered their ability to move too far. Maybe. It could be wish casting here. Okay. Intelligence gives us information I don't need. If we can't knock the UK out of the war by an invasion, then we must seek an alternate route. Build up forces in the east, ready to invade the USSR. Ideally when they're 90% mobilization, and the weather is good. Heavy artillery. That'll be useful in reducing Brest-Litovsk, so we should put that up there. Romania also in the war. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. It's because the darn mobile... Trucks are expensive, I guess, is the lesson. What's the supply situation here now? Just trying to make their troops as ineffective as possible. Bombarding isn't really doing any damage. Should have hit him with air too. Okay. Well, we're pushing. I mean, the bombardment's, I think, done a good job. The readiness on these guys is 16 and the morale is 1. I think that's probably in large part due to the naval bombardment we hammered them with. I need to get this headquarters unit down to Corfu. A secondary supply, I think, will help. Meanwhile, we've cut Thessalonica off from the rest of Greece as we advance inland. Defensive artillery that I didn't see. Alright, the Italians are going to spend all their money just trying to keep these guys supplied, but at least we destroyed a British unit down there. I don't even know if they can deploy new units to Africa. I'm not sure. But their supply is only 3 down there. So any attrition we can inflict on them, I think, is a win. We'll leave a German headquarters unit at Venice this turn. We probably need to deploy it. We'll see. Meanwhile, what's the diplomacy situation? All this money I wasted. I'm trying to get Romania to join us. They eventually did. But what about Bulgaria? Like, we got all these chits back. To what purpose? Alright, let's upgrade these guys. I wish there was a way to upgrade but not mobility. Like, choose not to upgrade mobility, because that is by far the most expensive thing. And I don't need it for every unit. Mobility is important, but not for every unit. Some units just need the ability to be moved into a position to attack. And I don't want to spend an arm and a leg upgrading everybody. Okay. Alright, so we're going to have 2 armored groups here. I mean, it's kind of a question where we want to deploy all our armored units. Honestly, I don't even think I need... Let's deploy one of these guys back east. I don't need to deploy every one of these guys here. Suppose headquarters mobility would make him go further? Why can't these guys upgrade? Alright, where did those... I wish I knew where those transports went. Alright, major redeployment of subs underway. Not really what I meant to do. Alright, I think that's it for this turn. Hopefully this 5th Army can survive if the British pull a bunch of units to try and attack it. I want the Afrika Corps. Really should have redone the Norwegian supply convoy. I haven't even really made a serious effort to push them off it. Mainly because it seemed like most of them were subs, and it's like I don't have adequate ASW to try and push these guys back. Interesting that a British destroyer is attacking the Italian fleet here near Greece. Are the British going to make a real effort? Oh. Okay. Carriers are attacking them now. They're damaging the Italian fleet. At least we've got those German fighters in Albania defending them. It's, I think, helping, but that cruiser's possibly toast. Why would you retreat toward the enemy? Right, they still have at least one carrier off the coast of North Africa. I'd love to sink a British carrier and some British warships if we can get a positive, you know, engagement. And the sub's probably not quite sink them. I think the battleship's still going to try and bombard us. They bombarded my air units, huh? The desert is so difficult from a supply perspective in this game. Alright, they're going to reinforce that army in front of Ionia, which makes sense. I probably won't have the strength to push it out. I'm guessing they pulled some of their border units back toward Larissa to block us on our march to Athens. Strategic bombers? Or is that a Mediterranean? Or is that a maritime bomber? I think it might be a maritime bomber. Maybe not. I can't tell. Artillery is hitting my army there. Presumably they saved up to attack and used multiple turns worth of shells. Battleship coming in here also. They're flanking me! God damn, they keep going up and around my flank. Even the armor, too! How are they going to supply out that way? Oh, they just pulled back. They flanked, attacked, and then withdrew. Okay. Smart, actually. Oh my god, so many enemy destroyers. That sub's getting experience. This sub has some experience. These turns, the game starts off moving so fast. And then it just... You know. In order to assist our Italian allies in North Africa, it's recommended we send some German forces known as the Afrika Corps. Okay. $100 MPPs a turn. They're expensive. But I will take it. That extra... Wow, there's a lot more of them than I thought. Okay. Alright. That British armor has one supply. We'll attack that army there and do some damage. That lead Italian army is very experienced now, too. Nice. German armor shatters that Greek army. What's the supply situation gonna look like? We need to take another frickin' city to get the supply situation any better. Let's pull this cruiser way back. That's so much money the towns have to spend to reinforce it. Alright, so we sank a British destroyer. That's a good. Any day you sink enemy warships, it's a good day. Now the problem with attacking Ionia with our ships is that it is a port, and so it has a chance to defend itself. We're going to do major damage to its supply, I believe. I think that's going to be damage we've got to deal with if and when we take it, but... So their supply's down to 5. It's interesting that battleships don't damage your entrenchments. Anyway, maybe with these 2 effective Italian armies and having 2 headquarters units and some Italian and some British air, we can do some good. Alright, those interceptors had longer range than I thought they did. Part of my problem at this point is I don't actually know where it makes the most sense to deploy for the invasion of Russia. Like, I'm not certain where the ideal sort of concentrations are. So that's also a challenge. But we are building up decently along their front. The USSR has not actually started swinging at all toward the Axis, or the Allies. New units. Let's deploy 1 anti-aircraft gun in the west. We'll go ahead and probably move it toward France or something. We get our first mechanized corps, which we will deploy... I guess here, this will probably be Army Group Center, southern flank. I suppose we do need that additional headquarters unit here in Algeria to speed along the campaign in Albania. So that second headquarters unit should considerably speed up the offensive here. It's already going to be 1941, but the Germans, I don't think, actually attack Yugoslavia till the spring, so we should be a little ahead of schedule. Okay. All right. Alright, the British are getting some of their destroyers for bases. Malta is being a pain in the ass. I didn't do anything with my subs because I'm absent-minded as a player, which probably is frustrating for you as a viewer to watch. Was an effective counterattack by that sub. Ideally, all these attacks on these subs clear out space for this other sub up here that's only at 1 hit strength to get out of there. Interceptors. I'm just happy we've destroyed... The Italians have destroyed 2 corps of British or Commonwealth troops in North Africa so far. That feels like... That in of itself feels like it's a big win. Are they pulling back? Or are they driving into the desert around our flank toward Tobruk? It looked like some of them are pulling back. Probably because their supply situation is so abysmal. Bulgaria is joining the Axis Pact now. Actually, they border Greece, so we can more directly bring aid in. Romanian resistance is being crushed. It's firmly the winter of 41. In the winter of 41. They've got a... Okay. Really? I get you want to interdict supplies to Norway, but if you're going to do it like that... Man. I can't get my other warships up there. I wanted a free sinking of an enemy destroyer. Instead, all I'm going to do is damage it. Alright. I did some of that sub movement to try and clear a path. Meanwhile, upgrading subs in France. Sub on the Egypt and Iraq convoy route. Not the most lucrative, but they are the most conveniently located. Alright, let's go back and... These guys are at 30 and 20. How much can we plaster them? Supply of 2 also. That should play a factor. Damn it. Alright, they're down. They're still at 30 and 20, and I didn't do... Blarg. Okay, so we bombed them. That did some damage. At least to their readiness and morale. Morale's at 9%. Very effective attack there. Okay, the Germans have taken Ionia. They've got a force up here in the north, which we're going to have to make sure they don't invade Bulgaria. Alright, so we may flank toward Athens next turn. Certainly gonna try. New units, another German tank unit. We'll have to pay to upgrade that one. More German heavy artillery. Put them within reach of Primsel. Oh. Oh. With it having more than 18 units within 10 hexes of Warsaw increases Soviet mobilization. So they're at 9%. So we are above that threshold. So now we went from you don't have enough to, you know, you've got enough to dissuade them from joining the Allies. But now, actually, they don't like that you've got so many troops that way. So it turns from blue to red when that happens. Okay. It's good to know. Get some of these guys out of here, maybe. There we go. We're under the threshold now. Okay. Good, good. I don't want to do that. Alright, what's going on in North Africa? These British units still have shitty supply. Interesting. So my supply keeps getting interdicted, but... let's upgrade these guys. Alright, another supply unit definitely should help. We've got some field artillery. So I bought heavy artillery. Is there field artillery I haven't bought? Heavy artillery. Or is that just like a one... is it rocket artillery? Huh. What's the supply going to look like with 2 headquarters units next turn? A little better. Alright, so the Western Desert Force Army is in rough shape, too. Interceptors and escorts. We do a little bit of damage to the British there. Nice, actually. 2. Okay. I mean, Athens won't fall immediately, but maybe we'll make some progress here. Hopefully the Greeks don't attack out of Thessalonica. It's probably their strongest point. It's a supply center, and they've got a headquarters unit there. All right, we've got 485 to spend. Italy really should be researching some stuff. money to do that. All right. I probably should be buying more air units, really. But maybe we can take Greece a little early. We'll see. Don't forget... Oh, we already did the subs this turn. Okay. Well, let's see what the next one has in store for us. More destroyers for bases being commissioned. More Malta hindering Axis supply. Italians successfully moved Spain 4% toward the Axis. Some industrial progress on research and development. Germany's going to be in great shape, I think. I think we're investing a good chunk. Pro-Allied coup in Yugoslavia, so it's March now, so actually the invasion should begin now. Wow. That cruiser is probably going to try and retreat, because they got beat up. Why are they doing ASW with light cruisers? I mean, they got plenty of warships, obviously, but... And that's not good. If the Royal Navy's going to attack me in the North Sea, that's really not good. Was that destroyer just bait to lure my fleet out so they could do a fleet action? I hope not. We'll see. Alright, they're reinforcing the Western Desert Army. They've built a lot of fortifications in front of El Alamein. That's actually, they had the one engineer unit there, if you remember from early on. I tried to hold my naval forces back closer to the Baltic, or at least to the Norwegian coast. That's why I moved the units the way I did. Meanwhile, the Afrika Corps is now in combat. They... Just their air forces, but they are in combat. In the desert. Wow, 3 damage. Nice. They lost 5 of their tactical bomber there. They're going to be forced to spend a decent chunk to repair it. Meanwhile, the Greeks launch an attack out of Larissa. Doesn't do anything. I wonder if destroying those 2 infantry corps and now almost destroying this army, if they're getting short of infantry units in North Africa. They took Limerick? You think the Americans would be kind of like, hey guys, this is a little much. City Barani's bombed. Black Sea Fleet. Tanks. Why are they all the way down there? By the way, what's the diplomacy situation? So the USSR is starting to swing toward the Allies. That's their mobilization is increasing. Alright, we destroyed the Western Desert Force infantry. And this has all just been the Italians. Those early investments in Italy, I think, are paying off, but I think probably won't be anymore. German armor's moving forward now. Swap the corps and the army around. Maybe, I mean, but they've also, the AI has done one smart. If moving the anti-tank down here is confusing, building a 3-line fortification in front of El Alamein down to the depression I can't move through is 1, historical, and 2, smart. So, we'll see. So Yugoslavia will probably join the war on the Allied side next turn. The Greeks have invaded? Question mark? Bulgaria? Which seems wild. Alright, Larissa is ours. We're pushing toward Athens. Right as the Yugoslavians are going to come up behind us. But hopefully we can... I don't know what they have down here. Guessing it's not nothing. Yeah, they got a corps of infantry here. Okay. I don't want to put the rest of my fleet there. It's too vulnerable, but... hopefully we get to Belgrade real quick. Let's move our... should have deployed off this rail line here. Okay, so Belgrade won't be in reach in 1 turn probably, but I need an army here, but again, I can't deploy too many troops there quite yet. The garrison requirement actually went up, though, interestingly enough, of that area to 4. Okay. North Africa's done. So I actually wanted to do that because I wanted to try and destroy these enemy cruisers. Be great to weaken the enemy naval forces relatively easily. So we just sank 2 Royal Navy cruisers. Basically for free. Have the rest of these guys sail back to harbor. Okay, so 2 British Royal Navy cruisers destroyed. They still have 33 naval vessels. If we go to graphs here and we take a look at MPPs. Germany not losing anywhere near more than we are producing right now. The British, on the other hand, are losing most turns, losing more than their income. Which you would think will create a bit of a fatal funnel where they can't effectively keep up. That's the hope anyway. Italy has 181 points. They really need to invest that. I guess we'll do advanced fighters. Should start getting a little more money next turn from, or in a turn or two from industrial tech. I guess infantry weapons would have been a better thing to wait to invest in for them. Okay, new units for Germany, a new bomber. And the Tirpitz. Alright, let's pull our battle fleet back, I guess. So we've actually got a decent battleship force. Not enough to challenge the Royal Navy, but enough to make you think. Hungary can have tanks. What good is... I don't really know, like, what does our rocket artillery do? Is it just the same? Actually, we need to upgrade that armored unit near. Well, I guess I was a little bit wrong at the start of this episode. I thought we were going to invade Yugoslavia, but that has not happened yet. We are about to do that. That will happen in the next episode. But we've kind of finally started to make progress and breakthrough in Greece, so I think Greece is on borrowed time. North Africa is going very well. We're whittling down the British forces there, and it does seem like the British have to ship additional, outside of the occasional event where, like, the British will get a unit that just raises in North Africa. Any additional forces seem like they have to be shipped to North Africa, which is a huge advantage for us because it limits how many troops the British can get there. They start strong with a well-rounded force, but they get weaker and weaker, and in theory, we're closer to bringing reinforcements in, although the British Navy complicates that. That being said, we've been going for almost an hour here, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. The Afrika Korps has arrived. We're on the brink in Yugoslavia, and we will hopefully be in position to launch an offensive against the Russians soon. I need to figure out if it makes sense to do a late summer offensive just to get the thing rolling, or if we should try, based on where the sort of antagonism layer is, if we should try and wait until the spring of 42. I think as the mobilization number goes up, the Russians will get more units, which will make attacking them more difficult, but I don't want to be launching an offensive against them in the winter of 41 either, so it's probably going to be late July, maybe even early August, before we can actually get our troops all in position along the Russian border with the appropriate morale and readiness and all that jazz. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. Leave your thoughts below, and without further ado, until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.